my initial reaction is one of shock. I'm a big Rúben Amorim fan. I think he's done things wrong, but I think on the whole, he's trying to create a foundation for Man United to be long-term successful. I think when you look at it, made big calls, getting rid of Rashford, Garnacho.
You think he was a net positive in his time at
I do, because I think if you look from before, he's always going to be the same. Player power, overruling. This is Man United we're talking about. We're not talking about Grimsby Town, no disrespect to Grimsby. This is Man United, a massive club that has let foundationally it rot to the core, where players who are bang average are being given loads of money, loads of time, loads of power, that they can turn up when they want, play 3-4 games. Yes, we give them the money, and it's great. I think it's poor. I think when you look at their position in the league, they're 3 points behind Liverpool. If they were to, they're 2 places below. If they was to win one of the 7 draws, and I've just written them all out, just think, if they just won one of these, they'd be in the Champions League places. West Ham 1-1. You'd say they should probably beat West Ham, right? Bournemouth 4-4. Wolves 1-1. Leeds 1-1. Spurs 2-2. Forest 2-2. Fulham 1-1. Every single one of those teams, they should be beaten.
But they didn't.
And then but this is the best part. So it's the manager's fault then. The reason is the manager's fault, not the players who finished 17th last year. Not those guys. No. Not the guys who have got Ten Hag sacked before. Not those guys. No. Not the guys who've been doing it. No. Manager. Always manager. And I think this guy has been the one who has called things out from the start. He's been one of the few managers you can look at and say what he says actually is the truth. Because he'll tell you, we're not playing well. Even when they're winning, we're not playing well. We've got things to improve on. We've had Maresca go, worst 48 hours in my life. What's wrong? Well, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong. They just jump from pillar to post. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. I think the way he handled himself in the press conference forces this. That's what I mean. I think he's done things wrong. It forces this.
Don't you think like he was like almost too honest to a fault?
Well.
Especially in this last period, it felt like it was very telling of a manager who wasn't in line and in sync with everything going on behind the scenes.
Because again, and I've been in this position, you go to clubs and you're sold a dream, right? You're at Naples, you want to get somebody in. You're not going to say to them, hey, listen, actually, the things don't really work the right way. When you're selling them a dream, right? Come in here, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, we're going to give you this. Okay, no problem. We all know there's a little bit of fluff in there. But what are the core things? And when I listened to that interview, the core things is, yes, we're going to say you're head coach, but you're the manager. You're going to run this place. You're going to be tasked with changing the dressing room, changing the culture, changing the environment, and the types of players we give you. Funny enough, January's come. That's where, in my opinion, the disconnect has kicked in. Disconnect happens. He thinks he wants to go and get certain players. There's talk of Ollie Watkins. He wanted a more experienced striker that knew the Premier League, that could guarantee them goals and let the likes of Šeško to build and do what they need to do. But
that's, by the way, Troy, that's not lightning striking you down. We have got a faulty light at the moment.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But adding to the dramatic.
But I just think when you look at those points, I think the ownership and the director of footballs have a way in which they want to do it. Not a track record that we can say is great, by the way, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But the disconnect has come at that point. I just think we're in this weird place now where it's always change the coach. You change the coach, things get better. I don't believe that to be true. That's just my opinion.